service. What's up, podcast listeners? Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of the Full Service Podcast. Heck yeah! my name is Tank Smith. I'll be your host each and every week. It's just me and you, and also I guess whoever else is also listening. It's me and you and them, and we're all together. We're doing this thing. I appreciate you checking out the podcast. This is the first episode, yeah. If I released the podcast on I released it on SoundCloud a little over a month ago. So if you're coming from SoundCloud, you've checked it out already, I appreciate you checking it out. Thanks for coming back. And if you're new, if you just clicked on something, you're like, oh, Full Service Podcast, what's that? I also appreciate you checking it out. Yeah. My name is Tank Smith. A little bit about me. I'm a stand-up comic. I just moved from Raleigh, North Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia to pursue my dreams. Yeah. My dreams of becoming an Uber driver. The market's good down here. Yeah, every stand-up comic has a podcast or drives Uber, so I'm trying to do both. I feel like it'll really help. Trying to build a brand. But no, I appreciate you listening. We have social media for the podcast. We didn't previously, we do now. We are on Twitter and Instagram at Full Service Pod. My personal Twitter and Instagram are at Tank Funkadelic. Give us a follow. Write us. Let us know what you think. But only 280 characters or less. But no, I do appreciate you listening. The first episode. Keep coming back. Subscribe, rate, review. Tell us what you think. You might be wondering, you're like, Full Service, what's this podcast about? What's happening here? What are we doing? This is a podcast about sex workers. Yeah, it is. Each and every week, I will be interviewing a different sex worker on the podcast. Primarily, so far, I have focused on escorts because those are the people I've interacted with the most and that I know and I guess have experience with, if you want to say that. Yeah, but I know there's so many different avenues and facets of sex work, so I will expand. I want to get everybody on the podcast. I want to know what everyone's doing out there, so I can share it and we can talk about it. Why sex workers? Why sex work? How'd you choose this? There's so many things you can make a podcast on. Why are you doing this? And I felt like it's a thing. It's a subject that really nobody talks about. It's crazy. For the first time, I guess, saw an escort in like May of 2018. I was out of a long relationship at the time, and I've been thinking about it, and I took the plunge. I was like, hey, I'm going to do this thing, and it was a great experience. Since then, I met a lot of awesome people that are sex workers, and they have great stories, and just interesting people, and their stories should definitely be shared, and so I'm trying to do that with this podcast. I also felt that whenever I talked about it, because I'm not gonna do this thing and not like talk about it, I guess. So I talked to different people about my experiences seeing escorts, and I felt like there was a negative stigma associated with it, and I didn't feel that at all. But there definitely was, and people's expectations of what seeing an escort was completely off from my experience. And only through talking about it can we change that. And because I know that I'm like, people saw it as like I'm like almost doing this like bad thing, and where I'm like I don't get it. I don't think there's any shame in it at all, and I don't think there should be any shame in sex work. And I'm not the only one doing this, and yet nobody is talking about it. So hopefully through us talking about it each and every week, we can get it out there in the ether, and people understand and not see it as like a negative bad thing, because the people I've interviewed, it's not a negative thing at all in their lives. So hopefully you'll see that as well. So I'm excited. I've done a bunch of interviews so far. I've lined a few up. I have ones that I'm still to do, but the ones I've done already, I'm excited for you to hear them. They're great interviews. I'm not the best interviewer at times, for sure. I can freely admit that. Write me and tell me, you're like, Jesus Tank, you fucking suck at interviewing. But no, it's getting better. We're getting better. The production quality is getting better. Some of these interviews you'll hear as the podcast progresses. You're like, man, the intro sounded good, but the interview, what the fuck? No, it's we're getting better. So I appreciate you listening. Stay tuned, because I'm excited for where this podcast is gonna go and where it can go. This is the first episode, but I want to get everybody involved. Write to the podcast. Let us know if you're somebody out there and you're like, hey, I'm thinking about seeing an escort for the first time. You know what? Write to the podcast. Tell us about it. If you're a sex worker out there, write to the podcast. Tell us your experience doing that. You know, I also want to share that as well. I'm trying to make this a thing where it's not just me talking. I want to get everybody's experience out there, because I don't want, like, I have my point of view, but I want other points of views, you know, so we can make it as inclusive as possible. If you're listening to this in your car, don't text and drive. You know, it's like to give out practical advice every now and then. But I do appreciate you listening. We should also add that here on the Full Service Podcast, and also me, Tank Smith, we're against human trafficking. I shouldn't really have to say that, but yeah, we are. So don't do it. We did not condone that. We're all adults here, and if you're not an adult, stop listening. Please stop. Tell your parents immediately. You're like, oh my God, I just heard this Full Service Podcast. I don't think I should be listening, but I think you should be listening. So yeah, thank you. And so every episode I will have an interview. I will do some solo episodes where I'll talk about different things related to sex work. But for the most part, they will be I'll be interviewing somebody. This is the first episode, and my first interview. This isn't the first interview I did. But this is one I did a couple weeks ago. It is with Alyse Aniston. She is based out of Roanoke, Virginia, but travels all up and down the East Coast. She's been an escort for the past 14 years or so. I had a lot of fun during this interview. It was actually we recorded this on. So I'm recording this right now on the 25th of September. We recorded on September 11th. So it was the 18 year anniversary of 9/11. We talk about that for a little bit, but no, it's a great interview. I definitely think you will enjoy it. If you want to follow her on Twitter. Her Twitter is at Hot Alyse, HOTTALYSE, Hot Alyse, and her website is hotalyse.com, HOT1TALYSE.com. So check her out, and I hope you enjoy this interview with Alyse Aniston. Enjoy. Thanks. What's up, listeners? Thanks for tuning back into the Full Service Podcast. It's Tank Smith. I am excited. This is going to be an awesome episode today. I have Alyse Aniston here with me today. Thanks for being on the podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. In Atlanta once again.
Yes.
Do anything good while you're here? Seeing any sights?
I'm not sure about sights, but I know that I'm going to eat really good.
Nice. What's on the menu for today?
I'm thinking like steak and baked potato and maybe a salad and then some dessert.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Maybe some cheesecake or ice cream or.
Do you have a favorite restaurant at all in Atlanta, or just like Google?
No, I just Google them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go to them and see how the reviews are.
Fuck yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta just go with something random.
Yeah, I watch the Travel Channel, so that guy's always he always has restaurants on there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And Atlanta has so much good food, so you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. How long are you here for?
Just today.
Just today? Awesome.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Fuck yeah. Where are you visiting from?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Roanoke, Virginia. That's not on the coast? Because I know I'm
No.
used to Roanoke, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's
Roanoke Rapids. It's not on the
not on the coast. It's in the mountains.
in the mountains. Sweet. How far is it from North Carolina? Is it close?
From Greensboro, it's probably like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
Oh, that's not. Old G-Borough. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Elite Box. What up? Is there anything good? Anything, if somebody comes to Roanoke, is there anything we can do? What's something to
There's
do?
a one-of-a-kind steakhouse in Roanoke that I love. It's my favorite. It's Frankie Rollins.
Frankie Rollins.
Yeah.
Shout out to Frankie Rollins.
Yeah,
Hell
and
yeah.
they have the pineapple martini. That's their specialty and my favorite.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome. I know you travel a lot. Do you have a favorite place to travel on the East Coast? I know.
You know, I love DC for the shopping.
Nice.
And then I love Florida for, swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Wilmington,
Florida,
North Carolina, too.
I love Wilmington.
Yeah.
Wilmington. Did you know if they got, like, the hurricane
They
fucked them up
didn't
at
get
all?
that bad.
Nice.
No. Yeah. So
I was worried about
my
that.
tiki bar is safe.
Nice. God. I was worried because last year they got hit and I was like, please don't let it happen 2 years in a row. That'd be so fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, they deterred that one. So, yeah.
I'm happy. Wilmington. Shout out to Wilmington. Hell yeah. If you're Wilmington, subscribe to the podcast. Listen to the podcast. We love you. I love you so much. Shout out Islands Tacos. I love those.
Yes.
On Front Street. Oh my God. Dollar
Yes.
tacos. You cannot.
Then you have to do Nolly's Tacos
Really?
on Carolina Beach. Yeah.
Ooh, fuck. Damn. This turned into a food podcast
I know,
today.
right? I love food.
Steaks, tacos. We're doing it.
I
We're
love
getting into it.
tacos.
Yeah. And today is fucking September 11th.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is. Yeah, can you remember where you were on September
I
11th?
do remember I was in Roanoke, Virginia, working at the hospital.
Damn.
Yeah, when the first plane came in.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did people know, like, at the time what it, like...
People didn't know what was going on. We were just turning the radios on and the TVs on and seeing what was going on. And
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That was a wild time.
Yeah.
I was in 6th grade.
6th grade.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was a youngin'.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah. Literally for some reason some classes were showing like the news, like some people had it on, and then like for some reason none of my classes were showing it at all. And so all I heard was like a plane
Yep.
flew into like the World Trade Center.
Yep.
And at that, like my sixth grade mind I thought it was like a small, like 2-person plane. And I thought they were just flying through the city and like didn't see a building and like that's like
Yeah, because you couldn't. Social media and
Yeah.
iPhones weren't.
And then when I got home, I was like, "Oh my God, this
Yeah,
is
it was
fucking,
bad.
this is terrible." This-
Thoughts and prayers to all those.
yeah, shout out, fucking 18 years later. That's wild. Man.
Right.
But thanks, I appreciate you being on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. How long have you been escorting? How long have you been doing that?
Probably 14 years.
14 years. Hell yeah. Nice. Heck yeah. What do you remember like the first time you heard of escorting or found out
Yes,
what it was?
I was actually doing some hair modeling.
Okay.
Yeah, for a guy at a High Point, North Carolina.
Okay.
And so he catered to the hair fetish, and he would put me with a dark-headed girl. And we would brush each other's hair, or he would hang me by my hair.
Nice.
So he
That's some
asked
strong
me,
hair. You gotta have some strong hair for that.
Yeah. He asked me, he says, "Have you ever thought about escorting?"
Yeah.
And I was like, so me growing up Southern Baptist, I was like, why would I want to ride a car behind a truck?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he explained it to me and introduced me to some boards on the internet. And so
Yeah.
that's how I got started.
Okay. So you were kind of open to it at that? Like you were like, I think I could do
I
that.
couldn't believe that was available,
Yeah.
in North Carolina, maybe Hollywood.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about it actually happening in like North Carolina.
So how'd you initially like start out doing it?
That's what I did. He introduced me to the boards.
Okay.
And then, so I just went and got a room and was like, okay, I guess this is how I do this. Let's give it a whirl. And the first time I kept my eyes closed, like I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
But afterwards you learn yourself and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody like kind of like school you on the game at all, or you kind of go into this blind?
No,
or?
I kind of just did a little bit of internet search and Googling and took it from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you like first initially advertised?
The Sweet Dixie.
Sweet Dixie?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen. Is that still around?
No.
Sweet Dixie?
Yeah. It was a really popular board.
Okay.
TR, of course, was the number one board.
Okay.
But then the Sweet Dixie was kind of local to North Carolina.
Okay.
So a lot of North Carolina people were on there.
Okay, sweet. And was it just kind of like the Triad area, or was it like all over the state? Do you remember?
All over the state of North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'd go in there and post pictures, and then I got the title Queen of Pics.
Queen of Pics.
Always posting pictures.
Oh, hell yeah. Was it just like, were you traveling at this point, or is it mainly like local to
No,
like, North
I
Carolina?
just stayed in like Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and Charlotte.
Oh, okay, nice. And before you started, did you have any kind of expectations of what escorting was at all? Or were you kind of like, I'm just going to try this thing and see what happens?
I was just going to try it and see. I had no idea what would happen, or who I would meet, or what kind of people I'd meet. Just, yeah.
Were you still doing the hair stuff too, or once you started escorting, you're like, I'll just do this
You know, it's
stuff?
funny. After I started escorting, he didn't call upon me anymore.
Really?
So I don't know if that was his way of him wanting to be with me, but then he didn't say it.
Right.
So I don't know, but I never heard from him.
Well, he's
anymore.
like, you should escort. Also, I'm never going to talk to you again.
Yeah, and that thought didn't cross my mind until like later.
Yeah.
You know, down the road when I would go back and think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fun. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, starting out, what do you think your biggest challenge was?
I guess my biggest challenge was probably learning the right locations.
Oh, okay. Like where to meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would get a room and, that's not good. We can't go there. Well, how do I know that?
Yeah. How do you...
So, yeah, location.
Yeah, that's... Was like posting ads, was that hard at all? Or you pretty much were just like,
the posting ads was pretty easy back
nice.
then.
Okay, sweet.
Maybe not now so much per se, but yeah, back then it was easy.
Nice. Thank you. What do you think there was like a waiver period at the beginning at all where it took some time to get like where you weren't good at it at all, or you feel like you were pretty from the most?
Oh no, I've been really good at it from the beginning. It just took me a little bit to overcome my shyness.
Okay.
And then just be me.
Yeah.
You know, and have fun.
Fuck yeah. I feel like having fun is that's what you're gonna.
You're only here once. You only live once. So live it up, have fun, no regrets. Yeah.
Do you think there was anything at the beginning that you learned at all, like the biggest thing you learned at all? Is there a
Yeah, don't judge people on looks.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. Were you able to tell people close to you that you were doing it, or were you?
No. It was a secret. It's still a secret.
Is it still like that?
It's still a secret.
Is it really? What do you feel like there was like not being able to tell people about it? It like created any kind of distance between you?
You know, a lot of people, especially today's time, are not open-minded people.
Yeah. So
automatically, if you were to tell someone that you're an escort, they're automatically going to judge, and you got cooties, and you know, all types of stuff. So it's best just left unsaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What they don't know doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Has anybody, and that's never come up ever to where they've like ever seen an ad or anything like that?
No.
Oh, that's
so far, knock on wood.
Yeah. You heard that, folks. The whole time you've been working, has it been independent? Have you ever like done like agency stuff?
When I had first started out, I wasn't necessarily with an agency, but I paid the agency to take my phone calls.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, this was a new step for me, so I really didn't want to talk to people and then see people.
Yeah.
You know, so then it was, they would just take my calls. But now I do my own calling and have my own phone number and stuff like that. It's just easier.
Sweet. Yeah. And you get to like feel them up like and just like talk to them initially and be like, all right, well, actually no.
Yeah, kind of get a vibe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like, because safety is important when you're seeing somebody.
It is safety.
It's the most important thing. How do you make sure that the person you're seeing is like a safe person for you to be able to see? Or like
basically, you just check the references.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, a lot of the girls are very, very helpful with reference checks.
Okay.
And
sweet.
if they're on 411, it makes it really easy.
Okay, yeah, because how does that work in P411?
Because they're already verified when they get on 411.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, the person that you're reaching out to, or like the client?
The client.
Oh, the client's already verified. Okay, cool. And do you feel like for the most part, I guess referrals are pretty accurate? They've like.
I believe so. Now you get the occasional. Oh yeah, he's okay. Which. Okay.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Okay, well, he's okay. Let's go for it. So I feel sometimes that they don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for the most part, most of the girls are really good.
I feel like that'd be a tough one right there, where you're like, he's okay, and you're like,
yeah,
I need a little bit.
Because I like a little detail, especially if there's a favorite outfit or there's something that you can add extra that makes it a better memory.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because memories are good to have.
They are definitely.
They're something you can't buy.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Do you, like, say somebody doesn't have it, like, say, like, a lot of people are trying this for the first time, and they won't have referrals from, like, previous providers they've seen. Are you still able to see them at all, or?
Occasionally, I'll see someone like that. I'll make sure that their name and their driver's license match, and I'll kind of do some research on the name.
Okay, sweet.
And talk to them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about vibes and energy. So yeah, you can kind of tell.
You definitely can tell.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
I know. So, in call versus out call, do you prefer for somebody to come to see you, or do you prefer to go to see other people, or what? How does that?
Either. It doesn't matter to me. In call's nice because I can provide, a nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I can dress. Now, if I'm out call, I have to dress appropriate for other eyes to see me.
Okay.
So, it's just just what their preference is. But if they're close to home, and I'll come right over.
Nice. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. So now, where do you, I guess, mainly advertise now?
Mainly advertise Preferred 411, Avenue X.
I've never used Avenue X. I never used that before. Is that good?
It's like ave/x.com.
Okay.
And then there's Private Delights.
Okay.
That's really good.
I like Private Delights.
Eki. I'm trying to go over them in my head.
Okay.
Yeah. There's still quite a few boards.
Yeah, there's still a lot.
Yeah.
Avenue X, would you recommend that?
I do, because like you get on there and the girls that the clients see can give them karma points. So you can get plus points or negative points. So it's kind of like a reference.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if somebody's reaching out to you from that website, you can see like how much karma they have.
Profile. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to keep track of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't because I don't have P411, I think you have to pay for.
I think so, and you have to be verified by I think 2 providers.
Yeah, so I don't have P411. Yeah. Just sending all emails.
It works, doesn't it?
Hell yeah, it works. Fuck yeah. It does work. Do you have a favorite site you advertise on? I always ask, like, you got a favorite?
I mean, I like 411 to get the references from because it's an easy process.
Okay. Just makes it easier for you.
Yeah. Private Delights is pretty fun. I like that one.
Yeah, it's kind of newer, but it's still like...
You can bump your listings and bump them and bump them.
Oh, shit, nice.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, I like Private Delights.
Yes.
Yeah. What, do you feel like you have an average, like, clientele at all that contacts you?
For the most part, everywhere I go, since I've been doing it for so long.
Okay.
Definitely have a following. But then, I have a lot of new ones, too, which is fun.
Okay, nice. Do you feel like it's, like, age range? Like, you say, like older? Like, I don't know.
It varies.
It varies? You're saying that, like, everybody?
Yeah. Especially here later. Like, normally I don't see anybody under 35, but here lately, the 20-somethings are coming in. So I don't know what it is or what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it working? Is it good?
I don't know, but it's a wide age range. Yeah.
Cool deal. Do you feel like, can you tell a difference in clients, like, by state? Is there a, like, because I did an interview with Kennedy, and we talked about, like, a difference between, like, Tennessee clients and, like, Kentucky clients. Is there a difference? Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia?
I would say the northern people, they tend to tip and bring in gifts more.
In the north?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure why. I don't know.
Well, that's, I mean,
yeah.
Sweet. I mean, that's a difference. That's noticeable. Hell yeah. Okay. What, I like to ask about relationships. And have you tried to, like, are you in a relationship currently?
No.
Have you dated while you've been doing this?
Not per se dated, but I do have a couple sugar daddies.
Nice.
Yeah. So
currently still?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's nice. I need to get me one of those.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, any sugar daddies out there? I don't know what I'll do for you,
Shout out to the sugar daddies.
Hey, I like to go on trips too,
Yeah. If I could just live and travel and eat, there you go.
That sounds like a pretty good life right there.
Well, I kind of do.
Yeah. You did.
I kind of do.
Oh, he's bragging now. Hell yeah. No, that's dope. But seriously, yeah, any sugar daddies out there, subscribe to the podcast. And also, hey, I like to be treated nicely as well. Fuck yeah.
But I'm pretty independent, and I love to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Yeah.
So that kind of...
Yeah.
I don't need a relationship. I like sleeping in a bed by myself.
It's nice. It's nice. I do it every night. It's really not bad. So this, like, you pretty much been, like, the whole time, just kind of like sugar daddies, no, like, man, nice. That's fuck yeah.
Just the sugar daddies.
Has there ever been a situation where you've, like, developed feelings for a client at all?
No.
No?
No. Just because, like, I grew up, and not saying this is just work.
Yeah.
But this is, what I do for work. So
yeah, it is work.
You kind of separate that from your normal
100%,
lifestyle.
100%. Yeah. It's a... Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, because I did nursing. So when you were in nursing, you couldn't deal with family events or family issues.
Oh, okay.
So, you just block it out.
Do you feel like nursing? Because I feel like you got to have that bedside manner on point, you got to be making people feel good and shit. Do you feel like that
I feel like I do definitely go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, which a lot of people, especially in today's work field, don't do that. Yeah. I mean, just even in your normal workplaces, they don't do that.
I mean, it definitely helps like that. I don't know. Just like, it's nice. Yeah. 100%. How long did you nurse for?
Probably 10 years.
Nice. Fucking dope. Oh,
yeah.
Would you ever go back to it at all, or would you think you're
definitely,
done?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
nice.
in the future.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Going back.
Yes, I love nursing.
Nice. What, STDs. I always like to ask about STDs. Mm-hmm. How, do you feel like they're common at all?
I think as long as you're protected.
Yeah.
And you use the right precautions, I don't think it's ever an issue. I do get tested once a month.
Nice.
Just to be safe. Just to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I was a nurse.
Yeah. So because I did an episode with Magic, and she was a nurse too before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so she said like she was kind of extra health conscious. So I think it was like she was like every month or like.
That's me.
Nice. Yeah. Female condoms. Yes. No. You ever use them?
I've used them a couple times, and I kind of understand where the men are coming from, because it's like, these things suck.
Really?
Some girls like them.
Okay. I'm
not into them.
I recently found out what they were, so. Yeah, I did an episode with.
They're hard to come by, from my understanding. Like, you have to order them. I've never
seen them in a store, but I'm not walking down the condom aisle.
Yeah, so basically, it's like a big condom.
Yeah.
Like this, and you just put it right here.
Yeah.
So, it's like the guy's just going into the condom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think you'd get a little more feel on a real condom. That's just my thinking.
I'm looking this trash bag. Hey.
Terrible.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I gotta give a shout out to Magic's gonna get Magic. She was a nurse.
Okay.
She showed me what a female condom was for the first time. So.
Oh, she showed it to you.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Yeah,
You go, girl.
I gotta give her a shout out every single episode. What up, Magic? How you doing?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Do you feel like attraction plays a role at all in seeing a client?
Not necessarily. Sometimes it's nice. And it can definitely get the hormones flowing, but I have found that a lot of people that I meet have really good skills.
Yeah.
And if you were just thinking that by looking at them,
then you'd have no idea.
Yeah.
So the skills outweigh the attraction.
I would think so, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you think since starting, have your views on sex changed at all?
Used what?
Your views on sex, have they changed at all?
More open.
More open?
More open, because you hear of a lot more. I guess people talk to you more because you're an escort.
Oh, okay, yeah. People are. Yeah.
So they're more open to you and what they like and what they want to try. So yeah, I've definitely tried some new stuff. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, sweet. Do you think since starting your views on men have changed at all?
No.
Haven't changed?
No.
Sweet. Heck yeah. We're still cool. You heard it here.
Men are sexual creatures. Give them what they want. Make them happy.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Do you feel in a session at all any kind of pressure to live up to anyone's expectations?
Oh, no. No. I'm just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're just you and you're comfortable, then it's all going to be good.
Yeah, people vibe with that.
Yeah.
Look, yeah. Is there any, do you feel any anxiety meeting new people at all?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. It's exciting.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like, ooh, they haven't seen me before. Wait till I open the door. They're going to love it.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Was you impressed?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, see?
Thumbs up, everybody.
So many people like doctor their pictures and stuff, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. It's what you see is what you... And some people even say it's better than the pictures. So, yeah.
Folks, better the pictures, right here. You heard it. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Do you review websites? I always like to talk about review websites. How do you like reviews? Do you like a review?
I love reviews.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Do you they're helpful.
They're helpful. But I understand a lot of people don't want to do them due to the paper trail or something that their family may come across or something like that. But yeah, ever since TR went down, Private Delights is
Private Delights is good for reviews.
Yeah.
I know because they're not too explicit, but
right.
I mean they're like this is.
Well, then you can reply back too.
Oh yeah.
So it makes it pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen that for sure. Mm-hmm. What do you think your biggest challenge is currently? You got any challenges?
I do not think so. I'm just out here living life and having fun. And
it looks like you're having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. What do you think the best part of your job is?
Just meeting the wide range of people.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. It's exciting. It's fun.
You're gonna meet people from all over, so I'm sure it's pretty cool.
Yeah, all over.
Is there a worst part of the job?
I would not think so. Unless someone's just not clean.
Okay. Yeah.
But then I'm really quick to say, oh, we can take a shower.
Yeah. I love that you're just like hinting, like, hey, let's
go take a shower.
Let's go do this thing.
Gotta make it work.
Yeah, you're gonna love this shower.
Without hurting feelings, So,
Fuck yeah. Writing a bio is hard. I always like to talk. How your website? It's a good bio. You got a good. Yeah. How hard is that? How difficult is that? Because I suck at that. I suck at writing about myself.
I do sometimes, unless I get in the mode.
Okay.
Or I've had a little to drink.
And then
I can become creative.
I'll say this about myself. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just little words here and there, and then I would try to make them a sentence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
Fuck yeah. How long do you see yourself escorting?
Until I'm ugly.
I got about 3 weeks left, y'all. I got 3 weeks left. That's all.
Well, there comes a certain point where you just you can't do that no more.
Is it something that somebody else tells you, or you kind of decide that for
just
yourself?
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
When someone's like, "Man, those pictures are really a lot better than you're like,
yeah,
oh,
I don't think guys out there have a thing for 80-year-olds or something.
But but there might be some 70-year-olds out there.
There might be. I don't know, but no, I won't be.
Right?
I won't be.
Okay. No 70. When you're 70, you're out the game.
Yeah, I'll be home drinking my coffee.
That sounds, yeah. Waking up super early, going to bed at 6 o'clock.
Eating dinner at 4.
Yeah. Okay. What, 5 years? Are you still, where do you see yourself 5 years? Same kind of?
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of live day by day. I don't plan too much for the future. Most everything, my house and all is paid for.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
So, yeah, I don't do credit cards.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah, just travel and eating and living.
That sounds nice. Mm-hmm. Do you, when you're planning like a tour or anything, do you have to get pre-schedule people in those cities?
I prefer, yeah. Especially if I'm traveling, a long distance. You don't want to go there and not have something.
Yeah.
So yeah, pre-booking's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do deposits at all, or is it pretty much just like on?
I never have done the deposit thing.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you think escorting is like? Do you feel like escorting has helped you in other aspects of your life as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's helped me discover more of myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like kind of know who you are more.
Yeah, different people doing different things, and it teaches you kind of about your own body.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you? I know burnout. I feel like burnout can happen in anything you do. Does it happen? Does it happen for you at all?
It doesn't for me, but I'm home on weekends.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. So and sometimes a couple days during the week, but I mean you don't want to go somewhere and just cram people in.
Yeah.
It's you're your own boss.
So you're able to take time off whenever you want.
So just do what you do to your comfort level and then call it quits.
Sweet. Fuck yeah. Do you have any advice for say somebody wants to see an escort for the first time? Do you have any advice for that person?
Yeah, just to be able to provide the right information and don't be too aggressive. Some people can tend to get really excited and,
definitely
say the wrong stuff.
Okay.
So, you get an email, I want to come over and fuck you right now. That's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
So just be
I just saw
patient.
your pictures. I want to fuck.
Yeah. Be patient. Take it slow. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. What, and you don't want them to be explicit and shit when they're
Yes, yeah. I mean, not especially if you're new.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it brings up a red flag real quick.
That's.
So slow down. Have some self-control.
Yeah. Chill, dog. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. Yeah. Do you have any advice for any people that would want to get into escorting at all?
I would imagine that it would probably be harder now because there's not as many boards available.
Okay.
But I'm always open and willing to help anybody and give any advice.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Heck yeah. I feel like it'd be hard if you don't just know anybody and you're kind of new to...
Yeah, I think that it would be now. Now, when I did it, I just jumped in and girls weren't very helpful.
That'd be
So yeah,
hard.
we're in a competition. A lot of girls feel like.
Or do you feel like you're competing against other people?
No, I think sometimes girls feel like they're just competing in general.
Just okay.
Because this field is like an ice cream flavor, and this guy might want banana one day, and he might want strawberry the next.
Yeah.
It's get your variety.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what it is. And if we support each other and help each other, it makes it better.
Nice. Do you feel like you have is there anybody you can like talk to about, like, do you have friends in the business you can talk to about escorting at all? Like, is it?
No, I don't. I'm nice to people and I'll talk to people if they talk to me, but I don't put myself on to people.
Oh, okay.
You know? I think that's my independent streak, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
I don't really talk a whole lot about it.
You know, is there an outlet? I feel like I gotta like I gotta be able to talk to another like comic or something about just like it's just comedy related issues.
No, I don't have to.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you? I know like Sesta and Fosta got passed like at like 2018 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That fucked up the whole industry.
Yeah, everybody was like, whoop, scared, gone.
Yeah. Well, how did that affect you at all?
It did not affect me.
Sweet.
Because I think most people knew that I was okay and I was safe, and then I think it brought more people to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah, so it was really convenient. But I've been around for a while.
Yeah, so you're already established.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever use Backpage at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's mainly like TER
The
board.
TER, yeah, date check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta find out what's in Virginia. What are do you know? Is there a most popular site in Virginia that people use?
I think Avenue X would be.
Avenue X is the
yeah,
okay.
for Virginia.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know I did talk to Kennedy, and she said in Kentucky it's pretty much like all skip the games in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, and that's supposed to be an okay site.
I don't really like it.
I don't know. Yeah.
I get calls from all over the world. And I'm like, I don't even fucking mess with the goddamn site. What the fuck? Maybe it's just me. Maybe
I don't know.
I need to stop with the internet. What am I doing?
That might be where your sugar daddy is.
Yeah.
It might be.
Where you at, dog? Where you at, bro?
Oh, skip the game.
I don't think I feel like I can't do anything that they want though. You know, maybe there's somebody out there for me.
Maybe.
Yeah. You never know till you
don't
ask.
find love, it finds you.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Do you? I always like to ask. Do you have any like funny stories at all? Anything good? To end on some good story.
I mean, like something crazy.
Yeah, something crazy, something funny.
Yeah, I do, but this will probably out the person that
We don't know who you are, Mr. Sanchez.
Yeah, so I got a reference from a couple ladies, and they said this guy was okay.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah.
So he walks in, and he's like, I don't want anything. And I'm like, oh, but that's okay. That's a little different. Like, okay, what do you want? So he pulls out this jar with a bug in it.
Yeah.
And wants me to torture the bug.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, these ladies didn't say anything about no bug. Like, I don't want to mess with no bug, and I can't kill anything. It's an innocent bug, even though I hate bugs.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say, yeah. That was weird.
What did he leave with the bug? Like,
Yeah.
was he like, I gotta do this to the bug? Like, if
Yeah, like cut its legs off one by one, put hot water on it slowly.
what?
Yeah, wanted me to torture the bug. It was like a big cockroach.
Oh my god!
I don't like bugs.
Damn.
And then you're gonna bring a bug in my room? Get the fuck out!
Jesus Christ, Mr. Sanchez. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's how it went.
Wow. No.
Yeah.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks. Just some people, yeah. That's a new one right there. That's not even.
I like to fulfill fantasies. I'm all about that and making good memories, but not a bug. Not a bug.
That's not even like a sex thing at all.
No.
That's
weird.
That's like some Sid from Toy Story kind of shit.
Yeah,
Just
just start to something that's probably going to end bad.
yeah. Can you imagine how happy that guy would have been though? You killed the bug, and then he's like, Thank you so much.
Ew.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Wow. What a fucking.
Yuck. No, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Guess that's a bug fetish? I don't know. Never
Maybe
heard
that's
of
a.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do a little research on that.
Yeah. Podcast listen, if you've heard of this before, if you're like, let us know what you think about this whole bug thing, because that's fucking weird to me, honestly.
Yeah,
but
it
hey,
is weird.
you know, everybody likes. No, that's fucking weird. All right.
Not bug. Not bug. It's like rare.
Every podcast, like 3 of the 5 podcasts, just evolve into us talking about bugs. Really,
Right.
Every time, it's weird how that happens.
But feet, I love the feet worshippers.
That's all. Yeah, feet.
Yeah.
Nice.
They just rub your feet.
That doesn't mean that you just get a foot massage.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's.
I'm all about massages.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
That's fuck yeah. Well, Alyse, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Do you wanna tell the people where they can find you at all before
Hotalyse.com.
hotalyse.com?
Yeah, HOTALYSE.
And are you on Twitter at all?
Yes, as Hotalyse, but with the hot having 2 T's.
2 T's? How do you spell Alyse? Because it's a new one. It's a new
ALYSE.
HOTTALYSE. Twitter.
Yes.
Hotalyse.com. Heck yeah, check her out. Thanks for being on the podcast. I really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
And listeners, I'll see you again later. All right.
Mwah.
That was my interview with Alyse Aniston. Shout out to her for coming on the podcast. Alyse, I appreciate it. Listeners, that has been our first episode of the Full Service Podcast. I've been Tank Smith. We have a social media. Our Twitter, Instagram for the podcast is at Full Service Pod. My personal social media, Twitter, Instagram is at Tank Funkadelic. We're going to be releasing episodes every Tuesday. More to come. I'm excited. If you want to see anything on the podcast, if you want to hear anything, write to us at fullservicepod@gmail.com. Let us know what you think, what you're thinking. Rate the podcast, review, tell your friends. Yeah, tell everybody you know. Tell that person at the grocery store that's also looking for chicken broth. You know, they're like, hey, do you see the chicken broth? Let them egg. Be like, hey, I got a podcast for you. But no, I appreciate you listening. We'll be back every Tuesday. Tank Smith. This has been the Full Service Podcast. Thank you. Full Service.